this episode 6.
Episode 6. What would your warm-up notes be? La 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 la. Do re fa la ti da.
Get the wee triangle out. Ding 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 ding.
Start gargling the water. Oh. Right, Mark, you just tell us when we're good to go, Roger. All good. Your lead, Reginald.
Guys, welcome to episode 6. Is this episode 6?
We are episode 6.
Episode 6 of the Well-Mead Watches podcast, joined again by my co-host and friend, Joshua Sales.
I feel bad you don't really get an introduction in this. Didn't really think about it.
Don't need an introduction, mate.
It's my name on the fucking door, isn't it? It's true, it is his name on the door.
Welcome to Well-Mead Watches podcast. We are recording this one a little bit late in the day, to be honest. We've had a mental couple of weeks. Usually we're pretty well planned. We're usually,
it's about a week and
ahead?
a half. Yeah, about a week and a half.
About
we
10
film
days
this
ahead.
to it coming out on the Thursday.
Josh usually leaves the editing and the shots and everything to the last minute and frantically gets them done on the Monday. But we're actually recording this on a Wednesday. The podcast is going live tomorrow
night.
So Josh has got a full day and night of editing ahead to get everything ready for tomorrow.
We've got a big... it'll be the afternoon because we are going to John Mayer this evening.
We are going to John Mayer this evening. I'm not as excited about it as you are. You're an absolute John Mayer fanboy, aren't you?
Yeah, very excited. We do have hospitality
I know one
tickets.
song.
That's all you need to know. And it's guaranteed to play.
Gravity.
All the other ones, you never know what he's going to come out with. But Gravity, that'll be on tonight.
Excuse me.
But yeah, mental few weeks. We are filming this on Wednesday. Today's actually the 27th of March?
27th of March, 2024.
Opened my eyes this morning.
I believe it's nearly the end of March.
I know, it's fucking mental. Year's just flown in. But it's because we've been busy, mate. Opened my eyes this morning, went on Instagram, and I saw quite a lot of people posting how good the weather was in London. Whereas here, I heard the rain on the window, and then turns out it was snowing. So it's snowing outside. It's Baltic.
It's nearly April, mate, and it's got to be 2-3 degrees just now.
Yes, 2.5 on the car.
Not great.
However, we both have been in the airport. So last Tuesday, we flew down to Dublin. We met kind of long time.
Yeah, one of my pals' friends.
Yeah.
Mark, who's helping us with something that we've got coming out later in the year. So it was good to get over there. While we were over there, I tried my first Guinness.
Yeah, William drops the bomb. So
can I be honest with you, though, about the Guinness thing?
Yeah, for sure. Far away.
Everybody's, Guinness, you'll love it. You need to go to Dublin, get a Guinness. Yes, it doesn't taste the same anywhere else. The first gulp of Guinness is 10 out of 10, right?
Mm-hmm.
The second is 6, 7 out of 10. And the third just tastes like flat beer.
Yeah, I'm not a huge Guinness fan.
People are always like, it's so creamy all the way through. Like, bollocks. It tastes like flat beer for the third gulp. The second gulp is average and the first gulp's good. I would drink Guinness if I could get the first gulp every time. But
see, you try having it here.
Impressed by it.
If you try having it here, it's like
I'd much rather just have a nice freezing cold IPA.
Yeah, no, I'm the same.
Listen, if someone said to me, "Do you want to have a Guinness with me?" and we were in Dublin, I'd have a Guinness. I'm not saying it's crap, but I'm just saying everybody's shouting and bawling about it as if it was this big fucking creamy extravaganza.
Yeah,
it
wasn't that good.
It was just an alright pint.
So he picked us up from the airport, took us to his office, we did the meeting, and then he took us for quite a nice walking tour of Dublin. And then William drops the bomb. I've actually never had a Guinness, and he's fucking stood in the middle of Dublin. So obviously, Temple Bar, where it's probably like 18 euro a pint.
We actually went to a bit more of a his kind of boozer, like where he goes.
Oh yeah, we did go to a proper local, and then he went, "You've got to go to Temple Bar."
Yeah, so we went to Temple Bar. It was Ramo. It was about a 10 euro a pint of Guinness.
It was about 11 o'clock on a Tuesday morning.
It was
and it was absolutely ram. Live music, the lot. You obviously driving, so you were very sensible, whereas I kind of...
Listen, I had 1 or 2 Guinnesses by the time we got back to Glasgow. I'd eaten 2 meals and, it was like 7, 8, 9 hours later, so I was fine to drive home. But
I was seeing stars. But
you were pissed, actually, 2 or 3 Guinnesses.
We didn't have a lot of time, and obviously the Guinness is quite smooth in Dublin, so I backed it.
Yeah.
And then it was only when we left, it hit me. I stood up, and I was like, boom. But also, I dropped William off again at the airport on Friday morning. He had to go down to London for a little bit of work, and then it was only until I picked you up Monday night did I find out didn't spend that much time in London at all.
Yeah, so I was in London. Got a bit of a call from a client who wanted to meet about a special watch and talk about a few other things that he had coming in the pipeline. So I ended up hopping on a flight to south of France, Nice.
Wasn't just a flight though. Come on.
Yeah, ended up hopping on a flight to south of France. Luckily, very fortunate to have jumped on a helicopter from Nice Airport to Monte Carlo, Monaco.
Got the blade.
Is an hour-ish drive. It's 6 minutes in the helicopter. So how the other half live, mate? Literally, you come out, guys waiting, give you a nice coffee, glass of water, whatever you want, take your bags, they then take you through, put you in a Viano, take you to the helipad, get off, helicopter's ready, waiting to go.
Where does it fly? Does it fly over land or is
basically
it water
flies
the whole
over
way?
the sea? So imagine Nice Airport's here.
On the coast.
Monaco's over there on the coast.
Right.
So rather than drive through land, you just fly out to sea and then back to
So you got
Monaco.
to like fly over like Monaco as well.
You kind of fly in towards Monaco. But yeah, amazing. 5 minutes, 6 minutes journey. I was a bit nervous about being on helicopters, obviously, because it's only got one engine, and if it conks, then you're like a stone coming out of the sky. But it was amazing, really cool. The pilot was dead nice.
Were you gassed in that situation, or were you like trying to like?
It's a bit surreal when you first do it because it's not until after it you go, "That's so cool."
Yeah. You see, because you're pretty good at holding it together. Like when we're doing stuff, I just don't care.
Yeah. You also don't want to be pure. Oh my god.
Yeah, but that's me. I get so gassed, I can't show it. Whereas you play it off pretty well. But
you have to
like
kind of look like you've done it before, don't you? If you start looking like
comes on with the blade hats and the blade t-shirts.
If you start looking like it's your first time, then people are a bit like, "Who's this loser?" Especially like in Nice, people are just like getting that all the time. But yeah, no, cool. Jumped out, pick you up at Viano on the other side, take you to a hotel, and that's fine. I was there for a couple of nights, had some meetings, had some great dinners, and it was great. Flew
Took
back.
some good content.
Yeah, it was great. Flew back, got the chopper back from Monaco to Nice Airport. Again, super cool. You're door to door from the door to door from the hotel to the airport. You're like 15-20 minutes. So it's amazing. So cool.
And what's Monaco like as a city? I've never been personally.
Incredible.
It's not very big, right?
It's 30,000 population.
Is it a city or is it a country?
It's a country.
So Monte Carlo is the city.
I think it's a country. Can you just double check that?
No, Monaco is definitely a country within
I think it
France.
is. It's got its own flag, hasn't it? So, the people from Monaco are called Monégasque. It's 30,000-ish population, super small. You can walk it in an hour and a half, really. Incredible place. Like I've been lucky enough to travel with work a lot to some amazing places all over the world. And number one for me was Capri until
Monaco.
Until Monaco.
Wow, so Monaco's above Capri because all you do is talk about Capri.
Yeah, because Capri's amazing, but it doesn't really have that much infrastructure. So there's not a lot of cars. You know, it's not really like a city. It's just really an island, Capri, that loads of rich people go in summer there. Monaco's different. People live there full time. Some amazing. I'm obviously so into cars, so into watches.
But they're all like mega rich live there, right?
Yeah, you need to have 500,000 to deposit in a bank account before you can even be considered for residency, and then it's literally up to Prince Albert. Who I actually seen Prince Albert.
I'm
not talking about the cock piercing.
Bellend.
I'm not talking about the.
I actually saw a Prince Albert. Me too, mate. I wasn't in Monaco.
No, I was at a hotel, banged the lift, and next night these two guards come out the lift, stand at each side of the lift, and I was pure. He was like, move back, and then Prince Albert came out.
You thought it was for you, innit?
No, that's that. Prince Albert came out. So I was like, oh, fuck, that was Prince Albert. But no, pretty cool. He basically rules the roost, decides like
who comes in, who goes out.
Blah, blah, blah. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, what was the motors saying? Let's talk about the cars, because all you see on my TikTok is like just the car fanatics.
Unbelievable.
As good as what it looks.
I've seen two of the Holy Trinity, so 918 Spider and a LaFerrari. Seen both of them. I lost count of the amount of SF90s I've seen. Lost count of the amount of Pistas I've seen. 812 super fast, seen loads of them.
So it's like a Ferrari place, really?
Yeah, it's so cool. G-Wagons everywhere. Like G-Wagon taxis.
What?
Random.
Imagine getting that in Glasgow.
Mate, fucking incredible place. Like the boats, like...
And where's like the racetrack in relation to...
The racetrack is in this... Like, you walk on the roads that the racetrack is.
So it is literally like...
It's literally... Imagine walking down Buchanan Street That's what. And then like 6 months, like for a weekend of the year, there's cars racing up and down that street. That's what it's like. You're literally you can walk the racetracks dead easy. Like walk through the tunnel. You can walk.
So if you're getting a
across the
taxi,
back.
the taxi's going along the
Yeah, you see the hairpin.
That is mad.
I was completely and totally blown away by the place. I have never seen a place so clean in my entire life.
Oh, really?
They clean the streets every single morning. It is spotless looking. You will not see chewing gum anywhere. I don't even think I've seen one guy chewing gum. It's just immaculate vibes. At night time, it just looks. And the buildings, I have got such a hard on for architecture as well.
Like, I know, I can tell. Is that a Mars bar in your pocket? Are you happy to see me?
Like the casino, the Monte Carlo casino, like the building of that casino is just like, I don't know how they've kept that. How did they keep it so clean?
Yeah.
It literally looks like it was built 10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's so clean. The people are cool. They're
Friendly.
it's just effortlessly, no one's head to toe designer. It's just effortless. I am fucking rich vibes.
Yeah.
That's
Just head to toe
all it is.
low OP.
It's just cool. Nobody's trying too
Yeah.
hard. Everybody's just cool where they are.
Uh-huh.
You see apartments, you look at them online, they're 100 million. You're just like, it's just a completely different level. And the way that people live, it's an eye opener. You think you're doing all right, mate. You go to somewhere like that, you think, I'm
You realise how poor
absolutely
you are.
rooked.
Aye.
But incredible
Jesus.
place. Loved it to death. Can't wait to go back.
Were you tempted to rent a car there? If you're like surrounded by all the cars, you're a bit of a car fanatic anyway. Were you tempted or not really?
I would love to have rented a car. It's just so expensive. Yeah,
Did you look into
It's
it?
not the actual cars that are expensive. It's the deposits that are expensive. So yes, I looked into renting a GT3.
Fire.
I actually know a guy who sells watches who kind of does the car thing over there, but he was like 25 grand deposit and 1,500 a day or something, which isn't horrendous. To have it for a couple of days, it's like great fun. You can drive south of France, whatever. It would have been great, but I just decided
I'd be in
not
like
to.
a Fiat 500 doing that.
So no, it was great. There's an Hermes there, really cool. Loads of designer shops. The restaurants were amazing. Not as expensive as I thought.
Yeah.
Actually, like Capri was worse.
Yeah.
You can go lunch, coffees. They're all just kind of normal London prices. Nothing's outrageously expensive, but just honestly, one word if I could describe it: incredible.
Wow. Yeah. Now we need to go. Maybe we need a little business trip there.
I think we're going to go. I think we plan to go maybe in a couple of weeks' time, just to kind of content. Relax a little bit, get some good pics and stuff, and I was kind of when I was there, I was sad that I didn't like have someone like you with me, who could have been like taking pics and stuff because it was.
What were your fits saying? Cold fits?
Yeah, it was good. It was kind of difficult. I had to go and buy some trainers because I didn't really take walking trainers, and in the morning you kind of walk for a coffee, and then it's actually was lucky to get some nice weather, and you just feel like you walk about, you see all the cars, see the hotels. It's an engulfing place because you see it so much on television that you then go, oh, I recognise that bit, so it's good to walk. But no, it was great.
And then I feel like
Fabulous.
with the two of us together, we analyse everything anyway. So we're always looking out the window, always spotting people. The airport is such a good place for me and you to be in where we can analyse people. You realise how fucking stupid some people are. So we saw
Are you going to talk about the people in airports?
Yeah.
Oh, mate.
God, do you remember what we saw going through security?
Mate, when?
When we were going Dublin. With the couple.
Mate.
That
What
was
is that all about?
brilliant.
It was like the guy was scared that somebody was going to steal his wife.
Aye, so they
They were like 60-year-olds.
Aye, they were queuing in front of us.
But they were like dressed like 30-year-olds.
Yeah.
And then queuing in front of us. And then they were like desperate to like be beside each other at the baggage, but they like taking their stuff out of their bags and then taking ages there. And then like the guy was like, right, come through the security scanner. And like they were like walking through the security scanner hand in hand.
They went to the trays together.
Like,
and the guy was like, you need to
trying
separate.
to squeeze through the bit like together. I'm like, mate, nobody's going to steal your missus. Like, relax.
But then even when they came through at the end, they always had to get separated to go through the scanners. And then they got through and held hands straight away. But it wasn't like it was one person. They both were like lost without each other. And me and you were just watching it.
People in airports, mate.
We saw someone else this time round.
Drives me fucking insane.
Yeah.
Like, get your shit together before you get to the security bit.
Well, how have you survived?
Why are people going to this? When I pack for my airport, I pack my suitcase that I'm taking, my carry-on suitcase. I then take another little bag with me, whether that's an end bag or whatever, just so that I've got access quickly to my laptop and my toiletries.
Yeah.
Get to the front of security queue, I put my bag on, I take my jacket off, I put that on, I push that on one tray, let it go. The next tray, I take out my laptop, put it there, put my toiletries there, put that on. That's me done.
Mm-hmm.
No need to be opening suitcases, blah, 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 blah. People are getting to the front and they're like, the guy's going, you toiletries in your bag? Yeah.
Got an iPad.
You take them out. Right, okay, you got to take such to us. He said, can't if I can remember how to open my suitcase. Then he's like, oh, I've got an iPad in here. Oh, I've got a 2-litre bottle of Tizer in here. Like, do you know what I mean? You're just like, mate, get a grip. Like, you know what's happening. You know what's coming. Just organise yourself before you're coming and get it done.
I completely
People
agree.
take so
But the people
long.
you see that are doing this, they're not young people. They're all like 40 between the ages. How have you gone your whole life being able to navigate life and you cannot navigate an airport?
I cannot understand it for the life of me.
Yeah.
And then I was coming back to get my connection back to Glasgow, landed at London, was getting my connection back to Glasgow, and so I'm going through the connection bit at Heathrow, and there's this like, I've got like 20 minutes to make my connection, and there's this like super old couple, right? And there's this woman who's like old as well, who was working there, and I'm like walking through, and I'm like, right, I'm sat. Both this old couple, I've not got a clue what they're doing, right? So obviously need some help. They're like fumbling about, looking for boarding passes, looking for passes. They've not got anything, right? And I'm like, so I've stood patiently, waited for a few minutes, and I was like, I said to the woman, like, look, I've got 20 minutes to make this connection. Like, my shit's here, good to go. Can you? She was like, just wait a minute.
Give me peace.
Then the woman's like, sorry, that's your boarding pass from Lagos to Heathrow. Do you have your boarding pass for your next flight? The woman was pure, like, they barely spoke English. The woman was like, no. So I end up standing behind them for 10 minutes, mate. And I'm like, excuse me, I really need to go. Like,
I'm good to go.
So why didn't the woman just go, just a second, let me just let this guy through?
Aye.
And I'm like, I'm not trying to be like rude and confrontational. I know yous are all old.
Yeah.
The woman's old and the two people are old. So I'm like, I'm not trying to be like,
Let
I'm a young...
them have their time, but let me have my time first.
I'm not trying to be like, oh, I'm a young fucking guy, move out my road. I'm just like, I've got a connection to make, and I'm going to fucking miss it if you don't hurry up.
Yeah.
Honestly, so frustrating. And then I was playing football when I came back.
Yeah.
And the flight's at 5 o'clock, supposed to take off at 5. British Airways.
Time did you take?
Do you know what I mean? 20. It's. I get to the gate quarter past 4, so I've got 45 minutes, right, until they start and until the flight's supposed to take off. The guy on the tannoy. Could anybody who wants to give their carry-on luggage please come to the front desk and we'll check it in for you. There's not going to be enough space in the flight. He must have repeated that 50 times, right? It's now 5:45. It's a full A380 or whatever it is from Heathrow to Glasgow. The flight's full. There must be 300 people on it. I'm going, there's fucking no chance they're boarding 300 odd people on this flight in 15 minutes.
Yeah, there's no way.
Just because this idiot's been shouting over the tannoy for the last 20 minutes of his tannoy notifications, nobody was going anywhere near him.
Yeah.
So it's just like, mate, start boarding the flight. Like, get group 1, group 2, and group 3 on. Like, get everyone on the fucking flight. And I'm sitting going, fuck me. Then we get on. Everybody's kind of on the flight, right, by about 10 past 5. I'm like, right. Then a woman puts her hand up, dings a bell. She's in front of me. So I'm in the exit row. Woman's in front of me, dings a bell. It's a 50-minute flight. Dings a bell. So the woman comes down. Hi, how can I help you? I've actually been separated from my travelling partner. Is there any chance that we could swap seats and get us together? So the woman's going, it's only a 50-minute flight. Everyone's boarded now, we're ready to go. Is it imperative that we ask? Yeah. And she's like 40. Like, she's not like...
She's fine.
She's like, there's nothing wrong.
Yeah.
Like, she should need to have a companion. She's just like a normal businesswoman. So there's another 10 fucking minutes wasted. They're trying to get people to swap seats and so she can sit beside this guy. So everybody's like, fucking hell. Anyway, we're sitting in the tarmac for another 45 minutes. Flight doesn't take off till 6. I'm supposed to be playing football at 7. Had to miss my football. Didn't get until 10 past 7.
I was meant to be picking you up and you said, and we were actually playing football together and he was like, right, you're going to have to go play yourself.
Honestly, I was absolutely raging, Spice.
Yeah, you didn't miss very much. I was
so annoyed. I'm like, British Airways, get it together. Start boarding the flight when everyone's at the gate.
Yeah.
You know what gate it is? There's 150 people standing waiting at the gate. Board the fucking flight.
Aye.
What's the date? Like, what are we waiting for? Oh, do you know what we'll do? We'll wait till the last second, then we'll try and get 300 people on the flight. You know what I mean? 70% of which clearly have never been on an airplane before because they can't figure out how to load, like, the things above their head.
Luggage into the old cabin.
Do you know what I mean? It's like, get the thing across to the side. And then when I was flying down as well, do you know what else happened? So I'm flying, I've got a backpack and I've got my suitcase. I've paid for both to be on the thing. So I get to the exit seat and I know the what happens at an exit seat. You can't have anything at your feet, can't have any jackets off, nothing at your feet in case something happens, you need to get out the exit door, right? So I book the exit seat because you get a bit of spare legroom.
Yeah.
Get to the exit seat. I put my suitcase up, right? I've engineered a little gap, perfect for my backpack, right? So I'm down, I'm sitting in my backpack. Woman beside me goes, "You need to put that in the overhead locker." She doesn't work for British Airways. She's sitting beside me. I went, "Oh yeah, I know. I'm just getting my laptop out and my earphones and like a bottle of water that I had or whatever I was doing. So I had some work to do on the flight." I went, yeah, that's fine. Anyway, I've engineered this little space up there beside my suitcase. Anyway, guy comes on, not in an exit row, takes off his stinking old minging sheepskin leather jacket, forces it in the space. So I'm looking at him going like that. And he knows what he's doing.
Aye.
So then instead of going, "Oh, sorry, mate, I've had to stand up and go, "Mate, I need to take that jacket out and put this bag in and I'll squeeze your jacket in top." He was pure, "No, you can't squeeze my jacket in top." I mean, jacket's about 1,000 years old, do you know what I mean? Like, it's like a relic.
Piece.
I'm like, "Put the thing in your knee, mate. Like, it's more important for my bag to be up there. I'm in an exit row, I can't have anything at my feet." People just don't understand like how to fly. It's so frustrating.
But then on that as well, I actually forgot about it until you were just talking about it. We had a lovely lady, Annette, that was sat next to us.
Shout out Annette.
Yeah,
man.
I completely forgot about Annette. So
listen, if there's anyone who knows, if anyone who knows that their mum or their auntie or whatever, when did we go to Dublin?
Last Tuesday.
Last Tuesday, we were on a flight to Dublin at what time? 7:55.
Yeah, 7:55 in the
7:55 flight from Glasgow to Dublin.
And she was called Annette.
A wonderful lady called Annette sat beside us both in an exit row, and she was tremendous, wasn't she?
Yeah, it was one of those.
She worked for the NHS. She was. She worked for a breastfeeding section of the NHS that was trying to encourage breastfeeding in communities across Glasgow and Scotland. She was lovely. Fantastic. She gave some great advice. She was asking us about our lives, our personal life. She was giving some fantastic advice. So if anybody knows
of Annette,
who Annette is,
let us know.
I would love to find Annette. I'd love to send her a bunch of flowers just to say thank you, because she really changed my perspective on a few things.
So we sat down the flight, and I don't know about you or anyone else watching, but like, I don't really give a shit who sits next to you. My headphones are going on, and I'm not making any sort of conversation with you, and for that flight. So we sit down. William's obviously got the window seat. I'm in the middle, and then Annette's there. So he puts his headphones in initially. I forgot my headphones, so I was like, right, I'm just going to have a kip for an hour. She turns around, she offered us some sweeties.
Yeah, she said, "You want a sweetie for the flight?" It's just like an old person saying, like, "You suck a sweet."
And we like kind of had jokes about when the people were, showing all the fucking safety things. And then from there, these two just start fucking gabbering for the whole entire flight.
She was great.
At the start, I didn't think it was going to be something like that, so I was kind of taking the piss a little bit.
I don't know what it is. Like, see, sometimes when you sit beside someone, I felt like our spirits were like, not in a weird way, but like we were just going to be pals.
Yeah.
Do you ever get that with someone? Like you meet someone maybe and you think she's my kind of person, or they're like my kind of people.
Yeah.
Like,
and she was lovely.
She was so nice. We talked everything from.
We'd love to find Annette.
From our personal lives to
her work,
loads of interesting stuff.
Yeah,
it was cool. Great. I'd love to find her and send her a bunch of flowers and keep in touch with her, because she was fantastic. She was talking about her daughter and her husband, and it was just great. It was great. And do you know what actually made me smile? Because then after we got off the flight, and our two pals were waiting for her on the other end.
And they actually had seats next to them. They're like, "Oh, do you want to come up and sit with us?" And she was like,
and it was like, "Nah, I'd rather sit here." And then they got off the flight, and I was like, "Oh, enjoy yourself." And she was like, "Oh, give me a cuddle," and I gave her a hug, and it was just great. So I'd love to find Annette. So maybe we'll find her. I
hope so. That's the task, I think.
Yeah, we get her on the podcast.
It should be amazing.
I'd love her to come on the podcast.
She would be amazing.
She was great. Great advice, just worldly advice on personal life, work life. It was just great. It was great to meet someone who has a completely different perspective. So she changed my thinking on a lot of things. So so a big thank you to her.
Yeah. No, I like Annette. Shouts out Annette. And then following on from that island trip, obviously we went to Dublin just before we were going to. I didn't know we were going until the Monday. So on the Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I was actually on a stag do. The stag do was with my pals from down the road. They booked to stay in Arica. For those who don't know, it is, what is it, about an hour and 10 minutes away from Glasgow?
It's up near Loch Lomond.
So the top of Loch Lomond, fucking nothing there. We ended up boozing. I was extremely hungover. Didn't want any beer or Guinness or anything like that for quite a while. Turns out on the Monday, I got told that we were going to Dublin the next day, so indulged in the Guinness, which was terrible. But the stag do itself was a fucking disaster. So as I say,
typical English stag do, mate. Naked wrestling at 2 a.m, and honestly, disaster. They were shooting in the morning, like Killy Pigeon shooting, and then they went on a 5K run, and then they all just get plastered.
No, so we woke up
and
and
then they ended up naked wrestling, throwing fivers at each other in their bockies at 1 a.m.
It was great fun.
Ridiculous.
No, so the boys that we were with are like a bunch of like East London cool boys. They're like, oh man, we're desperate for some coffee. Like we need some good coffee in this establishment. I was like, all right, well, when I drove in last night, there was a shop. I drove to the shop. When I drove in, there was a shop like maybe 10 minutes down the road. We just run there, so a group of us run there. The shop had like just spam on the shelves. That was like it, square sausage and spam. So they didn't have any coffee. And then in the morning, we went to go clay pigeon shooting. The minibus never turned up to take us to clay pigeon shooting, so we were late for that.
Total disaster. Anyway, shout that guy out in this podcast, mate. What's his name?
Jack was the guy who organised the taxis. But shouts out Rory for having the stag. It was a great weekend.
No, we need to know the guy who didn't turn up with the buses.
Oh, fucking comfy coaches, fuck you. And you'll be hearing from me and my lawyer.
That is disastrous. You paid him, what, 900 quid?
980
£900 quid to basically ferry you about Scotland for the weekend, and the guy just patched you, never turned up, took the money.
We ended up going to the local pub.
How bad's that?
It is bad.
That's so bad.
We went to the local pub in the village. And
anyway, all the 1,300 viewers that will view this will be...
Go on, comfy coaches on
Get on his trust
pilot. Fuck you, comfy coaches. Anyway, pushing on. Some hot news in the world this week was James Bond. Are you a fan of the James Bond films?
Oh, who isn't a fan? I remember. Do you remember Goldfinger on the Nintendo?
Yeah, of course. Of course.
Do you remember that?
Of course, with the grey remotes.
Yeah, and you were like, it was like a triangle in the middle, and you could like meet in the middle, and whoever had the golden gun would win.
Yeah, what a fucking game that
was.
What
a game, man.
But
some of the James Bond games have been the best.
Yeah, I agree. But they don't really. They could basically bring out a COD James Bond. And I think it would overtake anything else. But they haven't really brought a James Bond game out in a while.
Nah, they haven't. They need to bring one out.
But I would say James Bond is my favourite sequel of movies of all time.
Nah, I would disagree.
No?
The Bourne movies.
Nah, fuck Bourne.
No.
I think I've only seen a couple of them.
Jason Bourne does James Bond every day of the week.
You're tripping. You're actually smoking crack.
So who do you think James Bond would beat Jason Bourne?
Yeah.
Bollocks, mate. Sorry.
Without a doubt.
Third.
Who plays Jason Bourne? Fucking Matt Damon.
Yeah, but it's...
Fuck Matt Damon, do you know what I mean?
Do you know what I mean?
Matt Damon. Fuck Matt Damon.
Nah.
But... we obviously saw the end of Daniel Craig. I personally thought Daniel Craig was
great Bond,
a very good Bond, if probably the best, I must say. I know it's a hard one. I know, and I love. Brosnan? No, I love. I think he's better than Piers. Who's the other Donnie before Piers?
Get them up.
Well, I don't have
Sean Connery.
Sorry, Sean Connery. I would say is probably out there, and I think Daniel.
Who's the
Craig
one that done when the Halle Berry was in?
That was Sean Connery, wasn't it?
Nah, Google it. Get it up. I think it's Tomorrow Never Dies.
What? Right. Tomorrow Never Dies was Pierce Brosnan, wasn't
it? Who's the James Bonds?
Pierce Brosnan was in Tomorrow Never Dies.
Yeah, those are he was good. Pierce Brosnan was good. He was a great Bond. But anyway, there's talk of the front runner for me for the new Bond has got to be the guy from The Gentleman.
Yeah, so what was his name?
If anybody's not seen that yet, it's a masterclass from start to finish.
Yeah.
Guy Ritchie has nailed that series. It's gripping from the minute you watch it until the minute you turn it off. Fantastic.
See, I've not.
The actors are great in it. Even his brothers. Have you seen it?
No, I'm not.
Mate. Whoever plays the main guy's brother in it is just so... Freddie, his name is in the thing. So good. Brilliant.
But you would quite like to see him as the Bond.
I'd love to see him as a Bond. I think he ticks every box.
Yeah.
He's young, athletic, British. I'm all here for diversification with the Bond things, right?
However,
but stop trying to reinvent a character.
I completely agree. Couldn't agree more.
Stop it. It doesn't. Ian Fleming, who wrote, is that right? That's who wrote Bond, right? He did not write that story to be someone else. It's not supposed to be a girl.
Yeah. And how many Bonds have we seen, and they're all in line?
Stop trying to reinvent the fucking wheel.
Don't change
James Bond should be who he wrote the character as. It's not offensive to any ethnic minority or women or men or whatever if a James Bond is historically who he is.
Yeah, it literally is what it is. You can't change it.
Do you know what
if
I mean?
they want to bring another sequel out...
If Goofy started wearing a skirt and spoke like a woman and was a woman, you'd be like, what's going on here? Do you know what I mean? Or all of a sudden, if Cinderella was a guy, you'd be like, stop trying to do that. I don't get it. It's just pure woke society. Like, things have been written for decades. Just let it be. They're just writing new movies.
Yeah.
That role is his role.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Like, if you want to put a woman playing James Bond, then
They did the last one they had, 008 or 006 or whatever.
She
her
actually
name
turned
was.
out to be 007. So what I've actually got is I've got a list of the front runners at the moment in the bookies. This might have been just before the
That's
gentleman.
the whole point of it, but isn't it? Like, it's like sexy, spy,
Yeah. Well, he's out fucking chicks.
women, cars. Like,
Yeah,
it appeals to that genre of men.
Yeah. Like, he's even with, like, he's going to wear a tuxedo. Can he be in fucking shorts and slides?
It's just like,
You keep
come
it
off
what
it. Do
is.
you know what I mean? Just let them
Yeah.
be who they're supposed to be.
So, like I say, I've got the list in the bookies currently of the top runners. So, he actually wasn't on it, but I think he will be now.
There we go, Gareth Southgate.
Oh, fuck Gareth Southgate,
He's
especially
getting
after last night.
He's getting plugged for every job at the minute. Man United job, mate. See if he gets that Man United job.
Please take him, man.
I'm
United.
done with football.
I've got nothing.
I don't know if why would they replace Ten Hag with him, mate?
I don't know. But if he gets him at the England team, I'm all for it.
He's dog, mate.
We're not winning anything with that fucking manager.
Honestly.
We've got the best team on paper.
Just defensive manager.
Anyway, that wasn't what we were talking about. James Bond, right? So, Aaron Taylor Johnson, who was in Avengers, he is top runner.
Yeah.
I don't really know who he was, to be honest. I know his face.
I think after the performance in The Gentleman, I think this guy's got to get it. What's his name?
Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Is that who that is?
No, it's a gentleman guy.
Yeah.
No, I'll find his name. But I think he'll be on the list now, and I think he'll be up there.
He's so good in that.
Number
movie.
2 was, I'm going to say Lasagna, but it's obviously not. Lasagna Lynch, who was the female James Bond.
Oh, no, sorry.
She's second to get that call up, which it kind of makes sense for the storyline, but it doesn't because she's a female and hates it, but it's true. Barry Keoghan.
She's going to be like, shaken, not stirred.
Yeah. I'll have a porn star martini, espresso martini, please. Like, no,
Yeah, it's like,
a passion fruit daiquiri. Barry Keoghan, he's that Irish guy.
Piss off. He's about 5 foot.
Yeah, he is. But he's,
You know what I mean?
he was in Top Boy and he's that Irish Donny.
Away you go. He was in that Saltburn.
That's Saltburn.
Getting up to all sorts.
See, I quite liked him.
Nah, not having that.
Oh, sorry, Theo James.
Theo James is the guy.
Yeah, Theo James is the guy in the gentleman.
Theo James
He is on there. He's
up
fourth.
with Theo James. He should be the next Bond.
Yeah.
He's got my vote.
Lucien Laviscount, who was the mixed race guy from Emily in Paris.
Yeah, can maybe see that.
Yeah, I wouldn't be opposed to that.
Can maybe see that.
2 more. Cillian Murphy. I think he's a bit too old to be doing that. And he's not really like jumping off buildings, is he?
He's also 6 stone soaking wet, Cillian Murphy. So, like, he has a fantastic actor. The problem, I think, sometimes with actors like that is they have such a distinctive role in a movie, almost becomes hard for them to play anything else. Obviously, with Oppenheimer, he plays a great part as Oppenheimer in that movie. But Peaky Blinders, that's just who he is.
Yeah.
That's who he is.
Yeah, he's Tom Shelby.
He's Tom Shelby. Do you know what I mean? And you see that all of a sudden, if he was James Bond,
Yeah.
I just don't know. James Bond should be a young.
So what I think
James Bond should be a young, strapping, handsome
Bastard.
lad.
Yeah.
Who is well built.
People
and
wanna
looks
be.
like a spy.
People want to be James
That's the
Bond.
whole point.
Yeah, facts.
Do you know what I mean? You can't have a 40-year-old guy who a fucking whatever.
No one can relate to. But what I think happens is I think the British people, I think there's like a British team that really do put all their time and energy into the James Bond sequel, but then they have to have broader horizons, right? So they're like, right, we need this to be a success. We need this to take off in the US. So who are the people in the US? And obviously Cillian Murphy, they are talking about him because he won all their Oscars in Oppenheimer and shit. So I think that it's just a cop out. I think they're like, right, okay, we'll get the Americans on board.
I think the James Bond, what's the name for it?
Sequel?
Nah, like the James Bond brand is big enough to have anyone as James Bond.
I agree.
Really.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, whether it's, you know, whoever.
Yeah.
You know, I would probably go as far as say I'd rather see Timothy Chalamet play James Bond than that guy from Saltburn or Cillian Murphy.
Yeah. Nah.
Or the guy, or even Spider-Man. What's his name?
He'd be fucking. I'd quite like him.
Wouldn't mind it, but you know, a 5 foot tall
Tom.
Irish guy who's been in one famous film.
Yeah, maybe you're right.
Like, and what else is he in?
He was in Top Boy. He was good in Top Boy, to be fair.
It's just, sorry,
Just got
it's
smoked
like
in the head.
it's like getting the Real Madrid job, right?
Yeah.
Like the Wolves manager doesn't get the Real Madrid job. Do you know what I mean?
It's a fact.
So, like, that's what That's the equivalent. James
Also-
Bond is the Real Madrid job. James
Yeah.
Bond is the Man City job. James Bond is the big job in
Yeah,
acting.
it is the job.
When you are James Bond, you are immortalised
Yeah.
for years to come. Look at Daniel Craig. Look at Pierce Brosnan. Look at what's the other guy? Sean Connery. They're immortalised for you. They'll always be thought of in
Bond.
folklore as James. That's James Bond. That's James.
Yeah,
It doesn't
no.
matter what else they do.
Yeah.
And it's the same with Cillian Murphy being in Peaky Blinders. It's Tommy Shelby. When you're James Bond, you are James Bond.
Yeah.
I'm not doing 15 years watching that wee Irish guy be James Bond.
That's it as well. You got 15 years.
Exactly.
The last one on the list, and this
So
is
choose
probably,
carefully, whoever the fuck picks those
Yeah.
people.
This is probably the one at the very bottom of my list. I'd rather the female Lasagna Lynch take over than this. Idris Elba. Now, Idris Elba would be Idris Elba.
No, I've got to disagree with you. I think
Nah,
he'd be. I
Idris
think
is
he'd be.
Idris.
I think he'd be a good James Bond.
Nah, Idris is Idris, and I'll never be able to look at Idris Elba as anything but.
Do you know
Idris.
why I think
even in anything he plays, he's Idris Elba?
Do you know why I think he'd be a good James Bond? Is because I could kind of believe that he could be James Bond in real life.
Nah, man, he's a DJ. What are you talking about?
No.
Cunts
Have you
there
seen him
in-
on the Crouch podcast?
Nah, but the cunt's in tape on a Friday night spinning decks. Do you know what I mean?
I know. But he's got
James
something.
Bond ain't spinning.
No, he's got
Wheel the
something
ting,
about.
fam.
He's got something about him. Idris Elba. I wouldn't mind seeing him as James Bond.
But whatever happens,
Theo, whatever his name is. I nearly said Theo Vaughn.
Theo James, I think it. Yeah,
Theo Vaughn.
James. Theo
Imagine
Vaughn.
Theo Vaughn as James Bond.
But no, whoever does it, I would love to see it come out quick because the gap between
It's not
No
going to come
Time
out
to
quick.
Die.
They take about 3 years to shoot those
I
films.
know, and it
so.
kills me because they're my favourite.
Yeah, they're great films. Anyway,
Anyway, pushing on. Football kits, as obviously all the Euro kits got
my favourite
released.
football kit ever. Boom.
Fuck. Right, you go.
I've
you
got
lead
mine.
the way.
Blue Man United top. Ronaldo scored the free kicker.
Yeah.
Roy Keane's got a famous photo in it as well. That's my favourite football top.
It's a great shout.
It's like dead thin Nike. It's
I'd
like a
say-
really cool colour of blue. It's like not royal
yeah.
blue, but not baby blue. It's like somewhere in the middle.
I know exactly what you're
It's got
talking
had the
about.
silver Nike tick,
And what game
and it was
does
Vodafone.
Yeah, Silver Vodafone.
Silver
What
Vodafone.
game does that take you to? If you think of that kit, what game does it take you to?
Like a Prem game,
Do
not
you-
a big game, because I don't think they wore that in big games. A Prem game.
The game that takes me back to was
I think Ronaldo
they
scored a
played-
free kick in it.
he did, but that's not what I think about. I think about they play Arsenal at Highbury and Roy Keane's in the tunnel and he's fucking shouting.
No. That he's got a black Man United kit on that.
Ah, he does. Sorry, yeah, that's the
one.
anti-racist kit. he
Yeah,
had on.
the black one.
Ah,
you're
sorry, the
getting-
blue
you're
one
getting
is-
confused.
the
That's when
blue
he's
one is
arguing with
good.
Vieira in the tunnel.
Yeah, that's it.
And he's like, wait till we get out there. Wait till we get out. He's got a black kit on.
Horrible
In
bastard.
there. Yeah, he got a black kit on.
My favorite kit would be an England kit, and I think it's the dark maroony.
Grow up, mate. An
Fuck
England kit.
off. Gone just because the skips.
Of all the kits in the world, you've chosen an England kit. Do you know what's my second top favourite? Is
Go on.
the blue Real Madrid.
Yeah, was Beckham wore that one.
Beckham wore it. Would have been
Yeah.
Ronaldo as well. Ronaldo era probably.
Yeah.
Real Madrid. That's
I
a
do remember that.
fantastic kit.
But then
The white Real Madrid's class as well. Like the classic white that the
David Beckham signed in.
Fat Ronaldo wore.
Oh yeah, no. See, I like the one which David Beckham got signed in. They had like the yellow trimmer and the letters on the back.
Oh yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, that was my
Yeah.
favourite white.
Can't believe you've chosen an England kit, mate. That just sums you up.
Yeah, the dark burgundy one from like '92.
That just reminds me of that shitty Arsenal one that they had. The burgundy Arsenal.
No,
one.
that's
that had the
probably-
collar.
Bro, yeah. Well, when Highbury got demolished, that was probably one of the best football kits as well.
Nah.
I'd actually
I mean,
put
I
that.
actually had that kit, but I didn't. Nah, I wouldn't.
Fuck Arsenal. They're
Nah.
gonna win the league. Maybe we'll talk about who's gonna win the league.
Do you remember the Real Betis kits years ago? They were like tight.
the
green
green
and
and
white
white
stripes?
stripe? Yeah.
They were like tight. I loved those kits. Oh, the Roma kits, the Kappa ones.
The
like the
burgundy
orange and the
ones.
white.
No,
They
they
were
were
ho-
like burgundy, weren't they?
Well, there was an
Burgundy with
orange
the
and a
gold
white
trim.
one, and it was 3 kits.
Aye,
though.
you're
And
talking
the white,
about
and
the
they had a
away
white.
kit.
They were like skin tight.
Yeah.
I used to love them when I was
Totty.
a kid.
Shouts out Totty.
I used to love them. When I was a
Um,
kid. Eto played for them as well, no? Roma? Did
I
they?
don't know, but I stole Samuel Eto's boots. That's the only thing I've got in. I've still got them. Soles falling off because I used to use them a lot. But with the football kits, a couple of bits that kind of hit the news. So obviously Adidas, German Adidas, are leaving Germany football, which I can't quite believe. They've done it for like 70 years or something.
You see Germany the other night. They look good.
Last night,
Cruz back.
Scotland have
See them
fucked
scored
in
in the first like 6 or 7 seconds.
Because what they beat
Did
Holland.
you see that? The Cruz's ball
I
for that
saw
first
that.
goal.
Well, they
player.
beat Scotland. What? Holland beat Scotland this week 4-0, and then Germany went
Scotland
out.
got beat last night as well, didn't they? 1-0.
Got beat last night, and then England got beat against Brazil, and they played fucking awful. But Jude Bellingham's got an equaliser in the 95th minute last night.
What a player.
Yeah, what a player. But yeah, I think that might make Scotland in trouble. The fact that they lost 4-0 to Holland and then Holland got beat by Germany and Germany are in the group. So, I mean, obviously, I think Germany are going to come top anyway. So, as long as Scotland comes second.
Interesting because Germany were pegged to be a failure, and then Tony Kroos has came back and everybody's just
Turned it
seems to be
around.
galvanised. And Havertz is now playing that kind of false nine.
Yeah, he's all of a sudden turned up. I don't know where he's been the last 4 years, but
which is
he's
cool. And that, they'll be
turned
good.
up.
And then they've got a tune out of Thingy as well, the boy that plays for Tottenham that Ange just signed.
No idea.
Yeah, you do.
Oh, aye.
W.
Timo?
Weber. Werner.
Werner. Aye.
Timo
What about
Werner.
Werner?
I said you've got a tune out of him, no?
Oh, he's still pish.
Nah, I think he'd be good, mate.
I've always disliked him.
Anyway.
Yeah, so Adidas to leave Germany, which I think is fucking massive, to be honest. I don't know what that
Who
does
was Germany's
for-
last sponsor before? Never had another one. Who
Adidas.
did they go to? Nike.
They've signed a crazy $some billion deal with Nike.
Do you know what? That makes a lot of sense. Nike dropped loads of athletes at the start of the year. Maybe
you
they
think
were
that's to save the money to take over the
I don't
Germany.
think they need to save money, but I just think it was maybe more money management. They knew that they had this massive deal coming. Maybe they wanted to drop these shitty athletes that weren't winning anything from Nike and just get
Well, it's just
get a more lucrative
yeah.
contract that's going to earn them more
Yeah.
money in the long run. And
But
I think a national team definitely does that, especially one that maybe has the potential to be a World Cup winner in the next 10, 15 years.
I mean, you've got Adidas. They sponsor like the Olympic team. Any sport in Germany is Adidas is the backing for it. 75% of like footballers in Germany play with Adidas boots. So I think that stepping away from like one of the biggest sports in Germany, obviously the football national team, is gigantic for
it's
the deal.
big.
And then obviously we had all the stuff kicking off about the England kit.
You better get back closer to that, Mike.
Sorry. Hi. There was a St George's cross on the back of the England
Seen that
kit.
they changed it from red and white to red and purple.
Yeah.
Yeah, who cares?
I'm not tripping on it. I
Couldn't care
think
less.
if you're tripping on it, you are ridiculous,
No,
to be
couldn't care
honest.
less.
So yeah, that is the football kits. What's your best sporting moment? It could be outside of football. Obviously, we talk about football a lot. But
What that I've personally been a part of.
Nah, well, if you want to put it in that way, but
Wouldn't mind that volley the other night at Sevens. Anyway,
oh, for fuck's sake, it was a good goal, to be fair.
take it out. It's fucking chest height. Trap it. Bounces up. Volley it in the top right corner from the right hand side. Curling into the top right from 30 yards.
Yeah.
Winning goal. Sees later. Game is done after that. Boom.
Well, okay. Outside of
Don't mind
William,
that.
what
My
sport?
favourite sporting moment of all time.
So it could be like Tiger Woods in the Masters. It could be anything you want.
Istanbul, Liverpool, AC Milan.
So I had a joint one, and that was
That's
one
got
of
to
them.
be the best. If anyone could say what would you like to be part of, it's got to be that. Can you imagine the euphoria
So
of
what
going
was
in
it?
at
They were
half time? They were 3-0
3-0
down at
at
half
half time.
3-0 down at half time. They come back 3 each. Extra time penalties win the game.
Jersey dude with that save.
Extra time penalties win the game.
It was Shevchenko that was fucked the penalty as well, wasn't it?
It's a bar, doesn't he?
He goes to chip it, and
Does he?
Jersey Dudek stops it. Yeah, he goes to try a little dink.
What a game, man.
Mine would
I
be
should watch
the
that game.
Man City QPR game.
What?
When Man City won the league, so they were losing.
Tevez,
Manchester
when
United.
Tevez scores in the last minute to win the
No,
league.
it wasn't Tevez.
No,
it was,
sorry, Aguero.
Aguero.
Aguero scores in the last minute to win the
It's
league.
even. What is it? Martin Tyler that's the commentator. It is
Man
like poetry.
United, Man United need to win. They're winning.
Man United have won the game.
I know, but then what happens? Do they not?
They're on the pitch and they're all getting gassed, and Alex Ferguson's
Aguero
like,
need to get, and
They just
Man
need to
City
draw.
Need to draw.
yeah, they just need to draw, and it's the final kick in the
last
game.
kick of the game.
QPR boot it at the other end of the pitch. So it's gone for a throw in. So the chance of them getting it in is like nothing.
I pure remember the goal. He just fires it, and it
takes
doesn't
it
even
to-
go in the
yeah.
bottom corner. It's just down low,
Yeah.
right hand side of the goal.
Aguero! I just remember,
I remember him
Martin Tyler.
whipping his top off.
Yeah.
After it.
Scenes. I put that up in.
Do you think that's better than Istanbul?
Yeah, I don't know. I actually had both of them. Obviously,
No
Tiger
way,
winning the
mate.
Masters
No
was.
fucking way. Champions League final, 3-0 down at half time.
Yeah.
Imagine the odds
but
for that.
final
Mate,
day
it'd
of
have
the
been
season.
It'd have been 1,000 to 1. What would you rather win, the Premier or the Champions League?
Probably Champions League.
Yeah, exactly, mate. People who win the Champions League are immortalised. Apart from that Chelsea team that
I'm
won the
about to say,
Champions
what,
League
you-
2-3 years ago that they've all been
Pish.
fucking forgotten about.
It was the worst Champions League final of all time. Well, we'll move on to a little bit of watch talk. What's your take on kind of custom?
Sorry, just quickly, would Kepa have won the Champions League then? The keeper.
Yeah, he would have. Yeah. But it's funny seeing the Donnies that were like on the bench as well, who won the league. And you're just
Anyway,
like,
sorry, what were you going to ask me?
we're going to move on to a little bit of watch talk. So, what's your take on the
Do we have
whole?
to?
Quite enjoying not talking about watches, to be honest.
Well, I talk about watches every day.
Well, it's funny. We did a bit of a Q&A on Instagram, which we will come back to obviously at the end of the pod. But loads of people want more car talk, so I think we're gonna have to maybe.
I mean, I could do a podcast every day about cars.
Yeah,
Make me
yeah. So I think we actually don't have that much car talk for the remainder of the episode. So if that is what you're tuning in for, please turn over. But we will we'll answer a few questions because there's a lot of car questions in the
Obsessed
Q&A.
with classic cars at the minute. Obsessed.
Yeah, you saw some cool vintage Ferraris in Monaco, right?
Mate. Totally obsessed. I can't stop watching.
Anyway,
YouTubes
can we
for
keep to the
classic cars.
fucking podcast?
Yeah,
This is going to throw me off.
Sorry.
Right, custom Rolexes, yay or nay? So when I
Yes.
talk about custom Rolexes, I talk about maybe just give like a
Artisan,
thumbs up.
Artisan de Genève is one you probably don't have on your list.
Yeah, correct. I don't have it
And they're
because
probably
these
the
are just my knowledge. I didn't try
They're
not
probably
to.
the best at doing it.
Okay, right. Give me a thumbs up or thumbs down or a yay or nay, right?
Okay.
Chrome Hearts Rolex, yay or nay? Nay.
Complete and utter dog shit.
They go for big bucks as well.
Absolute, complete and utter garbage.
Yeah, that Donny just got done for one. That Moses.
Yeah. Garbage.
DIW.
Cool.
Yeah, very cool. We've got 2 in stock at the moment, right?
Cool watches, mate. As an everyday watch, fantastic. They're super light. They wear exactly the same size as the Daytona. They're made from carbon fiber.
Well, it's the Rolex movement, right? It's a Daytona.
Movement, carbon fiber case. They're on a
Yeah.
Kevlar strap, Velcro strap. Cool, you'll love it. You'll
Yeah,
wear
it's
it
fucking cool.
sometime.
That Daytona just
Cool,
I wish I could wear
watch.
that
Every single day, that's a cool watch to wear every day. And it's so light,
facts.
dead easy to wear, not clumpy at all. Cool. I like them.
Bamford. It's that Donny whose dad owns JCB.
Problem is, they're DLC coated, those watches, so they're black,
Mm-hmm.
DLC coated. As soon as you scratch them, it takes the coating off. They just look shit.
So is that an A?
Nay for me.
A Bapex.
No.
Yeah.
Would rather wear a Casio.
Fuck's sake. That was just my custom ones.
How
What
they-
was the one that you were just talking about? What's that?
Artisan de Genève.
What's that?
They make some of the coolest watches ever. They make, like, they take new watches and turn them into old looking watches. They skeletonize
sick.
dials. They make brushed gold versions of new gold watches
Aye.
that don't exist. They are just,
And what's that? They're based over in Geneva.
Geneva, yeah, but a massive company. They do big collabs.
Oh, that
with
sounds good.
Super famous people.
I have to have a look into that.
Really cool stuff.
So these aren't obviously custom by any means, but like, what's the process if you do want a Arabic dial Daytona? Obviously, you can go to
Arab
the grey
dial
market.
Daytonas are only sold in the Middle East.
Right.
So
Okay.
they only come out of the Middle East market. Probably very similar to something like a boutique dial in
Yeah.
terms of how hard it is
Yeah.
to get, like a boutique blue AP or a boutique green AP. It's probably quite similar in terms of the level of difficulty to get one of these watches from a boutique in the Middle East. And I would assume that you may have to be a resident of whichever country
Yeah, I
that
think
Middle Eastern
so.
country is, like in the UAE, to get one of those dials. So super hard to get, very cool. They went for mega fortunes during COVID. Now they're 10, 15, 20% above what a normal dial, which is good value. Cool watch. You never really see them.
Yeah, we had a Arabic dial platinum Daytona not long ago.
Arabic dial platinum Daytonas would have been selling during COVID for 250,000.
And how much did we have it for?
125.
Steal, if you ask
Half
me.
price. Yeah.
And is that the same for like Italian wheels? So if you want,
No, so what you're talking about is the day wheel on top of a day
Yeah,
date. So
correct.
day date, Rolex day date gives you the day and the date
Yeah.
and the time. So at the top of
Aye.
the dial, it's got a little day wheel.
Mhm.
It tells you if it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You can get that in English, Chinese, German, Arabic, Italian, all the languages. It comes in all the languages. The hard ones to get are Arabic ones, rare languages that you don't really see a lot of. They can be a little
but is
bit
that
more
the same?
valuable.
Is that the same
But
process?
no, if you buy a day date in Italy, you would get an Italian day wheel.
That's what I'm saying. So you have to be in that country in order
Yeah,
to
or
get.
if that country speaks that language,
Yeah. And what about what do they call the stamps on a watch?
like a Geneva stamp.
Nah, you know, like the Arab royal families.
Oh, like a Kandahar.
That.
So you get them. They're basically given to special collectors that buy almost like a tailor-made Ferrari.
Yeah, right.
They are given to special collectors. It's quite similar to, I don't know if you've seen any of the diving Seamasters or Submariners
I
that
don't
they're
think
giving
so.
out. They give them out to like some special teams in the
Forces.
army.
Ah,
or,
yeah, sorry,
Or they
I
give them
have.
out to
Aye.
like special dive teams and stuff like that. It's
Yeah.
kind of quite similar to that. They're just a rare, version. They're no different apart from they've usually got a stamp on the case back and a stamp on the dial.
Yeah, and then the Tiffany, if you want to get a Tiffany Patek, is it just Patek that you can get the Tiffany stamp on, or can
Tiffany
you get it on,
is a retailer of Patek Philippe. So think Watches of Switzerland sell Rolex.
Yeah.
Tiffany sell Patek. The difference between Watches of Switzerland selling Rolex and Tiffany selling Patek is that you don't buy a Rolex from Watches of Switzerland and it says Watches of Switzerland on the dial.
Yeah,
Because who the fuck would want that? But when you buy a Patek from Tiffany, I think, if I'm right in thinking, there's only one store, and it's the store in New York
Yeah.
that do them. Then it's called a Tiffany stamped dial. So it'll be completely the same as any other 5711 or 5712 or 5164 or whatever fucking reference you want. But it'll just say Tiffany & Co. on the dial. It doubles the value.
That's mad, isn't it? And I think you can buy
That's
them.
only for certain models. If you're buying a Pilot that says Tiffany & Co., no one's asked, no one likes them anyway, regardless if they've got Tiffany or not. It'll increase the value a little bit, but it's not major.
Yeah.
If you buy a Tiffany 5711, like a Tiffany stamped 5711, it'll be double the price of a regular one. Not retail, the retail's exactly the same, but it'll be a double the price of the original one. I'm not talking about the turquoise Tiffany. I'm talking about just a regular blue or a white 5711 that has Tiffany stamped on the dial.
And I think you can go to that Tiffany store and buy your usual Patek, which doesn't have Tiffany & Co.
No, I think they're all stamped.
Wow. I need to get on that list, son. In fact, we're not letting in any of these shops.
Believe
it or not, I actually think we're 50 minutes in, and we've still got quite a lot to cover. This was the one episode I was quite worried of.
No, this episode's been good. Just fire through. We can do it. I think you just need to take the bit out about the brands. We're not
that's out already. Don't you worry.
Cool.
But we'll talk about some watch brands. So out of the kind of top 5, what are maybe some like underrated ones that you like?
MB&F. I've spoken about that before.
Yeah,
I think they're doing great stuff.
Because that was one we probably had 5 or 6 in the Instagram question, so I've just merged that into our bit. So
out of the top 5, what watch brands?
Like
what do I think that's
doing
cool stuff?
Yeah.
I mean, AP are obviously doing.
No, they
cool
are
stuff.
top 5. AP
Outside the top 5.
Yeah, outside the top 5.
Jaeger LeCoultre this year bringing kind of back the Reverso. It's kind of coming back into fashion. That'll run alongside probably stuff like a Panther, Cartier Panther, which is super cool. I bought one for myself last week.
Yeah.
And yellow gold on the yellow gold bracelet. GLC Reverso is something similar to that.
Yeah.
Again, fantastic price point, 5-6 grand retail price. A cool dress watch. Vacheron, I think, are doing good stuff. The blue that they do in their dials is like no other.
Yeah.
Super cool. Their price point is just a little bit high.
Yeah.
And most of their models just don't go for overlist, which kills them a bit. I love the stuff that IWC are doing with, especially the Formula One stuff.
Yeah.
Stuff they do with Lewis Hamilton. I think if they just reduce the case size on some of those watches,
Yeah, they look massive.
they're big watches.
Yeah.
I think if they reduce the case size on some of the, they have like a full beige one, they have a full white one. I think if they reduce the case size on those, that they would be super interesting and be pretty mass market. They'd be pretty cool because I think it's something different. I like the way the IWC bracelets sit. They kind of fold back the way, almost like a vintage Patek deployment. And yeah, MB&F is cool. I love the stuff that MB&F do. It's just not a brand that is made for the masses yet. And I think if they brought out maybe a simpler model that was designed more at mass market, they would do really well. But I don't think that's their game. So but yeah, I'd probably say those.
And then falling off from the brands, let's talk about like maybe some underrated watches. So we were talking the other week, and I was like, you know, a watch that I've never seen like get a float around, and it's the Emoji Day Date. For me, I thought when I first saw images, I thought that was going to be triple figures. Maybe that's my unprofessional. Sorry, the jigsaw. But that's what has jigsaw on the dial, and then it's got emojis in the
date wheel.
The date wheel, and then the day wheel's got like phrases or something.
Yeah, so that was my favourite release.
Yeah, and me.
Yellow gold, rose gold, white gold. White gold's the hardest one to get, followed by the yellow gold, then the rose gold. Cool watch. They don't go for massive over list.
That's
50, 60 grand ish. List is probably high 30s.
Yeah.
Amazing watch. Really cool. Love it. If I could buy one at list, I would buy one. I
like
think it'll be
one.
one for the future. They'll probably get discontinued in a couple of years. They might make in the tens of thousands of watches in 20 odd years' time. They'll be super collectible.
Yeah.
Almost probably similar to what a Beach Daytona is now.
Yeah.
Only took them
I was
It
going
only
to say,
took them 20 years to be cool.
yeah.
That's what will happen with the jigsaw.
Well, they've
all of a
got-
sudden, somebody will go, remember that watch that they made 20 years ago?
Yeah.
Can anybody get me one of them? Then all of
Yeah.
a sudden, it'll be, well, the retail price was high at the time, so only really rich people bought them. And then really rich people don't tend to sell their stuff. So then all of a sudden, you've only got 5, 6, 7 of them available. And then
Yeah.
they become 150-gram watches.
Mm-hmm.
That's what happens.
But is there any other watch, something similar to that you think is super underrated, you wish you kind of saw more people wearing? Thank God there's no drilling in here today.
You should put me on the spot, mate. It's a hard question to ask.
You can have a minute to think about it.
It's difficult because a lot of vintage AP and Patek is forgotten. 3800 references, 3710 references for Patek. With AP, you can pick up some real cool vintage. I mean, I had one recently, yellow gold.
That was cool. Super cool.
You can pick those stuff up for relatively fair prices.
And not many people appreciate it.
And every time someone sees it, they go, I love your watch. That's so cool. Where did you get that from? Blah, blah, blah. Again, 5110 reference Patek's cheap-ish.
Yeah.
I'd love to see more people wearing them. Do you know what? I just love to see more people wearing what they like.
Yeah.
That's the direction of the watch market that I would love to see. I'd love to see people express their personalities more and stop buying rose olive day dates and ceramic Daytonas and whatever else. I mean, I get it. They're cool things to have, but
just because every
everybody's
fucking guy has
them.
it.
Do you know what I mean?
So we'll touch on that. Our last question before we jump into the Insta questions was, there was a new day date 40 that got released in between our last two podcasts, and that was the rose
dial,
with the black dial. What's
That'll
your
be a
take
flop.
on that? Yeah,
That'll
I
be a
think it
flop,
looks
that
shit,
watch.
but
That'll be a flop. Name me. Look, all you need to do is look at the rose Daytona with the black dial. Still, no one wants it. It's the worst one.
Worst performance.
It's the first one that they released, and they started releasing all the other ones, and all the other dials are way better.
But
So it's up against the chocolate dial. It's up against the rose Sundust, which is beautiful.
You would
watch.
take over.
It's up against the olive.
Yeah.
It's up against the Kiesel. Baguette chocolate, Baguette Sundust. Black for me is
Not standing a chance. But also,
black for me is bottom of the list.
Well, you were talking to somebody about, the colours and they go together. Obviously, rose is a slightly darker gold.
Yeah.
So why would it?
It doesn't.
It
It doesn't. But the watch is dark as it is. With a black dial, it just looks a lot darker, and I don't think it actually looks good like that.
I'm with you. Right, we'll jump into some Insta questions. Like I say, there was a lot of car talk. A lot of people obviously know your situation in the car game. There's about 12 questions saying, what's your SVR situation and what's the next car?
Fucked is the situation, and that's all I'm going to say on it. Went in for a service actually this week.
It's not good, bruv.
Nah, it's not good. It's not good.
Right, well, let's talk about the next car.
Next car, I'd love a GT63S, which is the 4-door Mercedes. I seen one when I was away in the south of France. Just love those cars. They've been out for a long time. I just think they're such a cool car, and I would love one of them.
Yeah.
I'd love a 250 Pagoda, but Glasgow's just doesn't get the recognition for drive. People be like, what you doing driving that old banger about?
Yeah.
Cool car, plus you don't get the weather. I'd love a vintage 911, 930 turbo.
That's just not good. We're literally in the car 24/7.
964.
We're like the real life Lincoln lawyer. We can't be driving about in vintage cars, man. My back would be mash up.
I love
mash up than my teeth.
I'd love a vintage car, but I'd love just to get a normal car and a vintage car that I think we should bang about the weekends. A 911 turbo, like a 996 turbo. I'd love green over tan. Shout out Justin Reed, he's got one of them. Super cool. I'd love a 996 turbo.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of
a cool spec one though, not like a black with black. Like I want like a bright color with a cool interior.
There's a lot of people that would probably watch the pod that obviously knew the car that you used to have. But I think it's a funny. We won't obviously address it for this for this pod. But I think next episode we maybe talk about why you got rid of that car.
Yeah, we can do.
Why you got into the SVR?
Biggest mistake in my life.
Yeah, because it's a joke story. Best black tie watch under 35k. That's from Dan Jones 1991.
I'm wearing it.
Yeah, we picked this up yesterday.
Cartier cloche.
Go on, tell the people while I find the next question.
So it's actually designed to sit on your desk. So it reads 12. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Take it a wee bit closer to the old.
To the old Lenzio.
The old Senor Lenzio.
So it actually reads 12, which pointing at my finger, and then 1, 2, 3. So it's actually designed to
Don't want to fuck that.
be read sideways, so you kind of lean it on your desk and it kind of reads as a desk clock.
Super cool.
100 pieces made.
Yeah.
So super rare, super cool. This is in rose gold. Picked it up yesterday. Black leather strap, conversational piece. You will not see someone else wearing one of these. There's only 100 pieces in the world made.
Yeah.
So super cool watch.
There was something I was going to say on that. Yeah, we haven't even shot it yet, but I think that will go hopefully quite quick. Reece Sweeney, would you rather score 1 goal for your supported football club or get a hole-in-one in a major? I'll answer that one.
Hole-in-one in a major.
Yeah, because no one at West Brom is fucking thanking me for fuck all. So I'm taking the hole-in-one in a major. All right, well, we'll do 2 more. Top 3 golf courses you've played?
North Berwick.
That was a great day. One of the greatest days of my life.
North Berwick, Loch Lomond, and struck out on the third one. I don't know. Not sure.
Cameron House.
No, that was terrible last time we played it.
Last question. We'll keep to the golf. What's in the golf bag this year?
Haven't even brought it out of retirement for the last 6 months.
Covered in dust.
But I'll update you guys on that soon.
Yeah, although I was played football the other day. Obviously, William was stuck on the runway, so I went myself. I actually heard that we might need a steward's inquiry on that simulator golf game.
Why?
Apparently, it's not accurate facts.
Get him on the phone then, right?
Oh, I think we're going to have to. Steward's inquiry.
Mate,
one of the boys was like, did Will say that he beat Connor on the pod? I was like, aye, Connor said that to me. Never happened. So I think we need a steward's inquiry on it. Someone there is...
Mate. He knows he got beat. I beat him 4-3. And then he played me again for like a stroke play for fucking 6 holes and beat me by 2 strokes or something.
Maybe that's why he's getting carried away.
But he got beat on the 18-holer, mate. He fell apart.
Oh, actually, sorry, Mark. I know you want us to shut down. I've just got to give a couple shouts out because there was a couple of angry people that we didn't shout out that watch all the episodes, but sometimes you don't make comments, so I don't know if you're watching. I'm not a mind reader. So before we go, shouts out to Don McNeary, Salvatore, Calzo, Robert Dixon, Ryan Lewis, Tom Boyle, Solvents, TJ, and Jared Evans. If you've made it this far in the podcast, God bless you.
Right, guys, we're going to wrap up. Thanks. That was episode 6, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks' time.
Peace.
Thanks, Mark. Cheers.
Sorry, mate.